Hello and welcome back to another session of serde-yaml. It's Byron speaking, and I'm looking at the standard formatter here, and after the previous refactoring session, that should eventually lead to a nice way to implement encodescalar. That is a function right now. I was thinking that actually we don't need the standard formatter. This is just a reminiscence of the formatter trait, which we also don't need. The formatter trait was used to set up or to handle white space, but we kind of handle all of this using options. So we have some option struct, and there we make using that we make all the decisions. The advantage of having a generalized trait for this obviously is that you could have high-speed implementations because it's not depending on runtime. It's just at compile time where you decide which code path to use, and the optimizer will get rid of all the extra function calls and if statements or conditions that you would need otherwise. But we don't have that yet. And I'm kind of simplifying the overall architecture by force, just because YAML is so complex as a format that I would like to keep it simple at first, and then, this is kind of a performance optimization measure, and this is something you shouldn't have while you are still trying to figure out how to implement this. And serialization is the simple part too. I mean, deserialization is gonna be the tough nut here. So let's see. I would like to merge or put all these implementations here into the serializer implementation. This is what this session is about. To do this, we need to do a lot of more or less smart final replays. So for now, let's see. Self-writer, or the writer here that you get passed, is only going to be, this is gonna be our own writer now. So writer dot shall be self-writer dot in future. Oh, and I should probably be sure I only do a final replace within this bound, like so. Okay, so now that we have this, we also do not need the writer anymore. So I guess writer mat w we can just replace with nothing. Voila. And this is that. And of course this stuff here we also don't need anymore, because the writer is now part of ourselves, which means we don't need a parameter for that anymore. So the w goes away. Finding and replacing in selections is always kind of feels weird to me. JEdit was better in that regard, much better. So Sublime Text isn't always the best. And last but not least, the where w is IO right, something we don't need either. Let's kick it out. And oh, look at that. We managed to replace too much here. So here the writer is now missing. Damn it. Okay. So let's try that one more time. Let's remove the writer. Writer mat w. In selection, unfortunately there seems to be no hotkey to do this, so I have to remind myself. Like this, right? So did that work? It seems to have worked. Okay. Now, this with options we don't need at all. Now the w parameter here. Is there a hotkey for find for replace? And use selection for replace. Shift F and E. What? Shift Command E. I did that. Shift Command E. That doesn't seem to. Oh. Oh. Well, stuff is happening. No. That seems to be related to the buffer of some kind. Okay. Anyway, let's not get fancy here. Let's just get this done. Time is valuable. Not to forget that. And there we go. And now, what else? What else would be missing? I think that could be it, huh? That could indeed be it. Oh, the indent stuff here. How often do we use it? Yeah, that's just self-writer. And same here. Yeah, we might think about making this, putting this into a method instead of a function, but we'll see about that. Self-writer, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, this one is something we still want to get rid of. Let's select things and say, well, replace it, but only here. Did that work? Not so much. Why would that be? No, it does work. Awesome. Kind of. I will just fix this myself. And now we should be able to just put this into the implementation of our serializer. Voila. And yeah, the formatter options we don't need. You might have to adjust a few things. The formatter we don't need anymore. Current indent we need. Self opts. So whenever we use the options here, we need to use the format area. Like so. And that is that already. Nice. That could be doing it. And now the last thing to be done here is to fix all the invocations of self-formatter. That is encodescalar. It doesn't need a formatter anymore. I think we also, do we use that formatter there already? Formatter. Yeah, if I could spell that correctly, I might actually find something. Okay, let's first fix the self-formatter stuff, which now is just self. Voila. And now here, formatters, I think, not required yet. Oh yeah, the formatter here we don't have anymore. Boom. The standard formatter can go away entirely. Voila. I call that a simplification. We might already compile, except for this one formatter invocation here. Where we should not, yeah, I will just take it out, I think. Because encodescalar could now as well be part of ourselves. It would be a whole lot simpler. Yeah, we will try that as a next step. First, let's see if that compiles. Oh yeah, encodescalar can now be called without the formatter. Let's see. Nearly there. Self-indent writer. My bad, I was missing this one. Oh, this function takes one parameter, but two parameters were supplied. True, haha. self open and mat self writer should be replaced with, I hope this is consistent with just that. Boom. Looks simpler. Same here. Self comma should be replaced with self comma. Voila. And we will have a look at this entire, at all these functions once we are there, but for now we just want it to work somehow. So the colon is the same thing. Yeah, let's do it like that. Voila. Looks good. And close is also to be fixed here. In general, close looks good. We might have a chance that this build, we are closer. Attempted access to field format of type D. Oh, damn it. Self opts format shall be, you guessed it, borrow format. And that will be that. Jesus, accessing any parameter is a long dependency chain there. Oh, mismatch types. Missing field, current indent. Oh, true. That should just be none. Not none, nah. Current indent, that's true. Like so. And yeah, let's see. Oh. Colin, function takes one parameter with 0 which supplied. What, really? Is there still... Yeah, there's still some writer in there. And something we got wrong all the time, there's no self here that we should add. Oh, there is a mat self here. Oh, there is a self. Awesome. Not here, though. Something went wrong here. And it must be mat, obviously. Yeah, here it works. So that's just this one. So let's see how that works now. Very close. We are getting there. Mismatch types. Found AW. Expected a mat something. Oh. So is that better? Oh, I hope so. Self-writer type mat serializer does not implement any method in scope named indent. That's true. Really? Do I call it on self? I do. So I guess this is what you would want to make it work. Oh, self comma, but comma doesn't even take, oh. Comma does use self first. Oh, wait. Cannot use self first because it was mutably borrowed. Oh man, really? That's so annoying. That's so incredibly annoying. But the cool thing is self first is something that we can access directly now. So there's no need for that. So in a way, once again, incorrect architecture was revealed by the borrow checker. So now we can do that. And we are fine. Let's see. Oh, wait. Visit enum unit. Oh, so it actually... No. We should keep it like that. Because we are hard coding this in time. So only in this case we can't do it. Let first be self first. And then we can just put it here. And here again. Let first be self first. How often do I have to do this now? Okay, I think we are through. That could work. Unresolved name first. What? 275? Yeah. Spelling. Maybe now. Cool. So that is indeed our refactor. We should still be as wrong as before, but it's fine. The standard formatter shouldn't even, we shouldn't mention this. The particular format is handled using the blah. No. Format options. Let's call it format options then. Format details, because we always use details here. So that is that. Refactor, sir. Merge standard formatter into serializer. This simplifies method calls and the overall architecture, and should help us getting a working serializer implementation. We move the formatter could be seen as performance improvement, as it would allow to handle white space very efficiently. However, we are not at a spot yet where we could put in complexity to possibly gain performance. That is that. Skip CI. Cool. 70 minutes in. I think we should use that to make encodescalar a method running on ourselves. That should work, but I will try, right? So that should be part of the serializer now. And we will see if this gets through the borrow checker. I'm not entirely sure. Format. Ooh. I'm not entirely sure. So now we have a mud self. The writer shall not be needed anymore, and B is, well, we could keep B here, that's okay, but the writer not so much. Mud self, and the tag. The encoding is something we can know from our options now. So let's go ahead. Wow, is that true? Do I have a local scope here, or do I miss something? I think I'm just, yeah, this is just incorrectly set up here. Bada boom. Still incorrect. Yeah, so now this could work. Yeah, so the encoding, something we have. The tag we need, the scalar details we need, because we don't know what kind of scalar that is supposed to be. So that's really the options the caller has to pass in, even though they originate on our own options, which could be a problem, because we would have a mutable self and a borrow to a part of an immutable borrow to another part of ourselves. We will see if that works. I think that this should work, but I'm always a bit unsure about that particular kind of sub or child borrowing that happens there. So self opts borrow format encoding. That would be the full pass to this. Opts explicit tag. Let encoding be. We could also keep it. Okay, encoding previously was a borrow. So now we have a borrow here and we can actually use it like this. And it's only relevant in that particular scope. So that should be fine. And now we go ahead with opt style, and that's where we are. So yeah, this is it. We don't do much yet, which is the reason that we are already done once we have adjusted the call here, which should now be much simpler. So there is no writer anymore. The encoding is also not needed anymore. The particular scalar stuff we need. So let's see, does it work? Well, that's a syntax error. Oh, okay. This is where it all went wrong. Oh, self-encode scalar. Maybe that would help us. That doesn't look too bad here. Tag null and the value is null. Method encode scalar is not a member of serializer. Excuse me. Oh, well. So this is something we don't need. How did that even work? Where B is as ref. Okay, so now it could possibly work. Work better at least. Member of trait serializer. Ah, I'm implementing a trait here. This is why there is no pub to be found. So we want to put it here. Sorry for that. There we go. So that could work better. Did I mean self-writer? I did. Okay. So here we go with mut, I suppose. No. Cannot borrow self opts as immutable because self is also borrowed as mutable and previous borrow is here. So we are in 251. Where is this? Yeah. So that's the shitty thing. Now we would have to. I'm not sure if we can work around this by getting the scalar value details. We could clone them, obviously. Or we could try to do the obvious thing, which probably doesn't work, because the borrow checker will realize that we try to trick it, which never works. Let scalar value details be this. But that probably doesn't work. Excuse me, what's the problem here? Oh, it doesn't want to have a comma there. Okay, so the same thing happens there, was expected. So shit. Always a problem. So I would have to clone this. There's no other way. It could also show a problem with our design right now. We own the options, but want to pass. I mean, it doesn't realize that the checking doesn't go deep enough. It just sees, oh, look, you can't have a mutable self and a immutable borrow to something else of yourself, because the self, this could mean pointer aliasing, because this self could possibly change this scalar details thing, right? So what you could do is, yeah, well, self opt borrow. Yeah, we can't do it. You would have to specify the scalar details, or we have to provide this either as clone, or we tell him what kind of scalar details we want to access, and then we could access this down here. So how many scalar details do we have? We have small, big, so it's string, key, or value. This is basically what we have, string, key, and value. And yeah, we could abstract it that way, or we just copy the scalar details. How big would the scalar details be? I think we can copy them. Look, we have a Boolean here, and then the style. And the scalar style is really just... Where's the scalar style? Really just that. Yeah, probably it's like 16 bytes maybe. We have a usize at some point. Yeah, I would think 16 bytes, 20 bytes. You know what? I copy this. So here we have the scalar details. Let's make them clone. And we have scalar style. And then we have block scalar style and flow scalar style. Both shall be clone. There we go. Then we have the preservation mode, which should also be clone. All right. Should be fine now. So now we own this thing. Clone. Bang. Problem solved. Except for the fact that we still never have enough space to the right here, unfortunately. Good. So that should now compile. We might have enough space. See? So there's this one character that was messing with us. Yeah, I see. So this is a weakness of the borrow checker. It doesn't realize that this is actually called beforehand, so the borrow is totally fine. This the only way you can work around this is by having a let structure value details be this clone, and this is that. So that's the only way. Maybe that produces better code. That certainly looks a bit better because we've matched one line, but this is only really needed because for the borrow checker this is one statement and everything in here is kind of all that matters. It doesn't resolve this correctly. It's a known problem, probably will be fixed at some point, but well, that's how it is. All right, cool. So now the testing works. We have finished our refactoring. The testing works to the point where we actually have to implement this, but I think we simplified this a great deal. So refactor. Encode scalar. Make encode scalar a serializer method. Yes. That way invocations are simpler. locations are simpler and closer to what we actually need. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. Bada boom. Nice. Oh, that's not it. Of course, we know that we are not working yet. Skip CI. So I'm confident enough to say, well, let's push this. And in the next sessions, we can actually try implementing this to the point where we have our simple test back to work and maybe implement even more of the stuff. So thanks for watching and have a good day.